Hello everybody, and what a pleasure it is to be back for Series 2 of VegfestUK Chat, coming to you live from somewhere or other, I'm not quite sure where. Here we are with VegfestUK Live Chat, and it is indeed the beginning of it's the beginning of the VegFest UK online event, which is basically taking place this weekend, online, as it were. And we'll be talking about that as we go through the chat today. You can find a lot of this available online at vegfest.co.uk and on our Facebook page, and of course on the event page. And you'll find a number of really interesting bits and bobs. So as you know, regular viewers, I'm joined, of course, co-presenting the show by the illustrious and most incredibly positive and uplifting vegan presenter you will find on the face of the planet, pretty much, but certainly on the show, Karen Richards. Karen, thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see you again.
I'm really excited, and thank you to you for watching, my lovelies. We really do appreciate it. We've got a fantastic show, especially for you, VegFest UK Chat and VegFest UK, the festival. And we're going to be aiming to come to you every month with fantastic guests. We've got brilliant products. We've got companies that you must know about that are going to make your lives really easy and more exciting. And we get to hang out and chat about everything vegan, don't we, Tim? It's wonderful. And all we need is you, my lovely viewer, to press like and love and give us a bit of a share as well on your socials. And then we will be so thankful.
That's right, Karen. Yeah, definitely a day for sharing. You know, we've got a lot of small vegan businesses, of course, lots of independent vegan businesses that have, lots of stuff. So we'll be focusing on quite a lot of that during the show. There's quite a lot to come up, but I would just again say thank you for joining us, because it is really good. And I know that you do a lot of work for free and a lot of work that goes into shows like this, a lot of effort and all the charity work you do, not to mention that demanding family life. And so it's just great. And I know viewers, people listening to this, will be in varying different degrees of challenging life situations right now. It's the middle of the second lockdown in the UK. We're right in the middle of it. We don't really know if we're going to come out of it for Christmas. And, we hope so. But the VegFest UK chat show is going to go every month now for a bit. So we'll be doing another one in December, December 12th, 13th. But for this weekend, Karen, as you mentioned, we've got VegFest UK online for November 14th, 15th. It's all weekend. We've got live streams. We've got some exhibitors. We've got some special offers, which we'll be coming to in a bit. And we'd really like, of course, people to share this show and to tell your friends about it, and particularly to focus in on some of the shopping. But of course, the panels that we have, we've got a whole weekend of stuff coming up. Not least, Karen, tell us what's happening at 5 o'clock this evening.
Well, 5 o'clock later on, we are going to be announcing all of the nominees for our 2020 awards. We have got newcomers, we've got old, long-time favourites, we have got fantastic categories, and really to celebrate the best, the most wonderful companies, as I said earlier, that make our lives that little bit more special being vegan. So really excited. That's at 5 o'clock. Put that in your diary for later on this rather gloomy Saturday morning.
And 5 o'clock, that's this afternoon. Before that, we're going to have a number of guests indeed talking about what we're doing. We're going to be having a wildlife summit tomorrow. We're going to have Kevin and Jade coming to talk to us briefly about that. We've got Lisa Gawthorne coming up in a fairly short period of time. Lisa, highly achieving athlete and also the CEO of Bravura Foods. and then Hench Herbivore later on in the show. Just a quick mention, this is a free event. If you do want to make a donation, you have the option to get a virtual ticket. You can buy a virtual ticket for £5 virtual ticket. You can go to vegfest.co.uk/virtual tickets. And you can buy yourself or your friends a nice little £5 ticket, which would be quite simply a donation towards the whole production and running and scheduling and content creation of this show. But of course, it is for free, and all the resources are there to share later. You don't need to watch live, but you can if you want. And of course, it's just generally basically a whole celebration of all the vegan stuff that's going on in the world pretty much, but especially in the UK right now and within our kind of VegfestUK circles, which have come about now over 18 years.
Yeah.
We're doing this, Kay, isn't it? 18 years since the first VegFest now.
I mean, it's unbelievable. We've seen veganism grow. I know social media, of course, has played a big, important part of that. But when I'm chatting to the press and they say, why do you think veganism has grown? I think it's no coincidence that it's grown in the space of time that VegFest has grown as well. And yeah, you know, we thank everybody that supported and come along. And some people, their businesses have grown just by being at VegFest. Some people have met their other halves at VegFest. They've met their best friends and they've learned and they've grown. And some people were not vegan when they came to VegFest, but they go away thinking that they're now going to make the best decision of their lives and go vegan. And we aim to bring that to you online now.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to carry on online, and really what we've seen over the last 20 years is just so many great firms, so many campaigns just growing. We're going to have a little look at some of the Christmassy stuff, actually, get us in the mood for the seasonal holiday season, which is going to be a little bit strange for billions of people all over the world, pretty much. It's going to be a pretty odd sort of season coming up, but, you know, it's a new, and there's going to be some fantastic vegan products, including this awesome Go Vegan panettone from the Free From Italy crew. You can get them in supermarkets. I have a soft spot, I must admit, for a panettone, because it's an Italian traditional seasonal Christmas cake. Karen, have you ever had a panettone? Do you get panettone?
I have. I remember when I was working up in London, they had all these little sandwich shops, and they used to be packed with these cakes that I could never have because they added animal ingredients. And I used to think, what do they taste like? And now we have vegan versions. So, yeah, really can't wait to try that.
And on that note, of course, you know, if you are feeling fairly flush, you might be looking to get yourself one of the newest vegan hampers on the market. This is a brand new vegan hamper service. It's literally just launched, and it specializes, Karen, in kind of like, you know, quite sort of expensive, quality luxury goods. Now, I've got to be honest, when I first saw this, it's like, okay, another hamper. But, you know, when you do have a look at it, there is some incredible content and a price match.
They do look fantastic. It's very high end.
Yeah.
To make your Christmas a little bit more special, or any time of the year. And, you know, at the end of the day, you get for what you pay for. And these are Michelin trained chefs bringing you super high end products, luxury vegan products. Please, I really cannot wait to try their products. They look so good.
Talking of high end, I mean, one of our favourite firms we work with, Watson & Wolf, and Watson & Wolf has a really good, basically, accessories, I suppose you would say, that are not, using any animal products, of course. So it's effectively no leather, no animal skins. But there's this gift aspect to the Watson & Wolf, and you can see from the photograph there not only the quality of the items there, the wallet there, but the packaging that comes with it. And there's 50% off this very weekend. So there you go. There's the code, VegFest15. You can go to Watson & Wolf, and sort of thing I'd imagine you might be eyeing up for Christmas gift in your household, Karen.
Well, if I was, it would certainly be these guys. I've met them at VegFest. Lovely people behind the products, behind the business. really like them. And I know people have come to me and told me that they've bought their products and they are so pleased with them. So yeah, again, luxury, like Labanti that we're going over as well. Brilliant people behind the team. One of their mottos is fashion with respect. Very high end, lovely lady started it, called Vanita. And I've got to say, my very best friend, who is a friend of VegFest, Victoria Featherstone Pierce, does feature these bags as well on her blog. And she really, knows her stuff when it comes to high-end luxury bags, as we've seen on one of our chats before. But lovely bags, aren't they, Tim?
Yeah, the Banty, that's right, Victoria, who was our very first guest on the 15th of May now. It's a long time ago, 6 months ago. Unbelievable times. Victoria came on and had a wonderful looking Labanti bag. So Labanti are at the exhibiting at the VegFest this weekend. You can go and see them on the exhibitors page on VegfestUK. You see the November exhibitors, the special offers there. And of course, labanti.co.uk, the website there. And if you're looking for some good Christmassy gifty ideas, and nothing like some vegan jewelry, some great jewelry, reasonable prices, some really interesting dynamic ranges from the Lunar Tree jewelry team, regular exhibitors at VegFest UK events. And you will, again, find them on the website. Lunar Tree look fantastic, don't they, Kay?
They are really lovely, lovely designs, really good quality. Again, I've heard so many good things about this brand. And also, if you are going to be buying Christmas presents this year, then do support the VegFest stallholders, support the vegan businesses. It is, to me, it just makes complete sense, whether you're buying for your family, for your friends, even a treat for yourself. We've got all the answers here at VegFest. You don't have to worry about where to go. We've got fantastic companies, and they'd love to work with you.
Yeah, it's important. I think the power of our spend, even if it's very, very, very compact, is important. And it's not always possible to support independent vegan small businesses. We know that it's not always, that easy sometimes for people to do that, but I think that gifts especially, it's really does. It's something that really makes a difference. Really makes a difference, and it's an incredibly tough Christmas this year for people who so rely on this time of year. So we'll be featuring them. We're doing another show in December the 12th, 13th. We'll obviously have a sort of Christmas gift focus. There's another one in January. We'll be doing one at the end of January, so that'll have a January products focus. So it's a good platform for the Vegan Traders Union people too. There's the Vegan Traders Union is another great platform. There's also the World Vegan Month platform this month with Shibari that is focusing on a lot of vegan options, so traders and services. So Karen, talking of which, we're now going to come into our part of our show where we are not only going to have our first guest waiting in the wings, so you can see us just say hello to us both on the messaging, but also the fantastic products. Now, Bravura Foods is one of the brands that has been busily helping the growth of vegan products in the UK, and Bravura distribute a number of brands, probably 8 or 10 brands, I'd say, something like that, all vegan. This one, Free From Fellows, I've got to say, I'm going to have to talk about it because when I looked at it, it's like, oh my goodness, these are vegan midget gems. You've got literally bagfuls of vegan midget gems. Now, hold my hands up here. When I was a youngster, midget gems was my favourite stuff. Midget gems were the business, as they say. When I was 11 years old, it was a midget gem got the vote. If I was down at my last tiny amount of pocket money or whatever the spend was, it would be a midget gem, without a doubt. So seeing suddenly vegan midget gems, there's other, other traditional sweets that you would usually find, unfortunately, that include gelatin. And there's so many brands. You've got your gummy bears.
Oh, look at me. Oh, it's lovely.
Cola bottles. I mean, this is back to the 70s, this is proper 70s traditional stuff. I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the rhubarb and custard.
I was just going to say, how can you not love a rhubarb?
Oh, no. But the pear drops would be fantastic. The pear drops was pretty actually a close second to the midget gems, I'd say. Did you have that time in the sweet shop, Kay? You used to look at there and sort of try, you can only have one or two. And it used to be jars, didn't they, in the 70s? Yeah. So this is just great,
I mean, one of the things, Tim, that really has driven me to promote veganism for the past 25 years is I just wanted kids and my son Callum to be able to go and buy sweets like everybody else that do not contain gelatin, carmine, and all other kinds of absolute shite. Sorry, because it really winds me up, because kids have these products and they put crap in them. So yeah, really brilliant range. And I haven't yet tried this. The flavours sound so good, don't they? I think you and I need a laid back lemonade, Tim. Don't you?
Do you know what, Karen? To be absolutely honest, if I was any more laid back, I would be horizontal right now. So I'll be honest, I'm not sure that would be the best thing. I think I've had my 5 coffees. I'm ready for another one already. But the Leaf Life is basically it's a CBD. It's got a CBD. It's a CBD range of drinks, lightly sparkling, like you say, Kay, well noticed and fantastically awesome looking flavors.
Yeah.
Mango and passion fruit. I think the one at the front there does look pretty good. But I've never seen a CBD range actually quite like this. I mean, usually associated with drops. I know our guest coming up, Hench Herbivore, he uses CBD. But do you sort of use CBD at all?
I have done, yes. I mean, I'm lucky, blatant plug for my site, Veggie Vision. I get sent some nice things to try. So I have tried some jelly bean things, that have got CBD in them. And hey, why not? If they're vegan, I'll give it a go.
Well, this certainly looks like the sort of way I'd be more than happy to try. I like the look of these kind of refreshing drinks. I love the sparkling, and I'm a big fan of sparkling water. And especially if you're staying off the beer or what have you, the prosecco or whatever it is. I'd say I do. I really do enjoy that health tip right now. And I think this does look like quite a sort of addition. It's a very much a 21st century, got this real modern slant to it, hasn't it? And be very interesting to see where the CBD goes, and especially as we leave Europe. But yeah, a very interesting brand. It's one of a number from Bravura Foods. So do check out the Bravura website, because Bravura Foods, and you can also go to VegFest. All of these brands are on the VegfestUK website this weekend, including this one, Karen. Now, I know from talking to you early that you have first-hand experience of the peanut butter powder.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. What a genius idea. I mean, you can see there it says with such a huge amount of less fat. I just thought, I'm just really curious. And I bought it some time back. But yeah, you mix the powder up with water and there you have peanut butter, which is just, it's really quite nice for kids as well. My son thought it was really good. But I've mixed it into smoothies to just give it a bit of a peanut kick. I really like it, actually. I'm looking forward to trying the chocolate one as well. It's just such a nice idea because everybody loves peanut butter. And, to have less fat but to still get that taste, it's nice. And, it is just quite fun. I thought it was quite interesting, mixing it up with water. And there you go, you've sort of made your own peanut butter. There's probably lots more you can do with it. I've started to make some curries and I've added in some peanut butter, and I'm thinking when I go and buy some more of this, I can maybe add that into the curry. Again, it's not going to be as fattening. So,
too, Karen, make me think maybe you could make a nice satay sauce with this. Actually, that's a really good idea, because I think this is one of the attractions, is that you can just mix it up with water and sort of either drink it or add it to smoothies. I love peanuts. I mean, I love peanuts, but they are quite fatty, and especially if they're roasted, of course, the fats become, they're not the best fat. So it's interesting to take out the fat and use it as. And I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't done my homework about the protein content, but peanuts generally are high protein.
yeah.
So that, I'm sure that's got quite a high protein content. So of course, in fact, we'll ask Lisa, who's going to be on any minute, I believe. We're going to have Lisa Gawthorne, who knows all about these brands, because not only does Lisa highly achieve on a running aspect, but Lisa runs Bravura and all of those 3 brands that we've just featured, the Free From Fellows, which is all the sweets, and the Leaf Life CBD is also another one, and then the Peanut Hottie. So I think, Karen, I mean, you've known Lisa for a little bit. I think Lisa came on your radio show maybe a couple of years ago. So how long have you known Lisa now?
Well, I met Lisa at an event and I was just blown away. I've read her book. She's passionate. She is gorgeous. She is high-end GB athlete. And I know she lives and breathes veganism. And she's just a really nice lady. Been on the stage with me at VegFest. And I can't wait to hang out with her today live. Yay!
Yeah, well, Lisa's joining us. I know she's in the studio, so we will be saying hello. I forgot to send Lisa the link this morning, but we got it, and here we are. Lisa Gawthorne.
Hello, you okay?
Oh, great to see you, Lisa. You are looking gorgeous.
Likewise. Happy VegFest Day.
Yeah, well, we're really happy to have you.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, that's all right.
So, Lisa, where are you at the moment? I know you've been. We'll come to running in a minute, actually, because I know we've got a couple of slides. So you can tell us about your travels. But before that, whereabouts are you? And tell us a bit more about some of your brands too.
Yeah, sure. So this is basically Bravura headquarters for me, because our business is all remote. So I live in Liverpool, well, a small town outside Liverpool called Thornby. So this is my home office. You can see probably behind me here, we've got all our certificates on the wall for all of our brands. They're passionate about the vegan movement, as are you, Tim and Karen. So we started Bravura Foods, myself and Carl Morris, my business partner, 10 years ago now. And we started just with one brand at the time, which was Panda Licorice. But very much like, do you remember Panda?
Yeah, of course. That's fantastic.
I remember. Yes.
Very popular brand. Yeah, so we've got a very similar vision. We just wanted to get more and more products on the market that were vegan friendly, and then obviously we expanded the business and added a lot more products in, obviously the likes of which you've just been talking about prior to me coming on the show. So we're just really passionate about taking new brands to the market all the time and letting vegans basically not miss out on anything and offer them really, really nice products.
That's fantastic, Lisa, and it's really with thanks to you, and brilliant business owners that step up and bring these products to us. As Tim was saying, 25 years ago, I could only dream of being able to eat a flipping pear drop. And I've got to say big love as well to Carl. I do hope he's watching, because it's so I met him while I was on, going over to Portugal, and we just got talking in a really small, lovely hotel, and we realised who each other was. And so, hi, Carl. Hi, his partner. He's a great guy. Lisa, what's your favourite of all of your products?
I can't ask her that.
I would say, I bet your favourite is the Peanut Hottie.
Do you know what? It probably is because I'm an absolute peanut butter fiend. So I love that. I mean, originally the brand was a drink, and then we morphed it more into a powdered peanut butter. And it's a very versatile product. You can bake with it, you can cook with it, you can spread it on toast, add it to drinks, throw it in smoothies. So I have it on rice cakes pretty much daily, to be honest with you, just in the basic format, and it's lovely. So it'd probably be a tie between that and the pear drops, the free-from pear drops. They are great. They're also my dad's favourite as well. My dad always sings me, "Have you got more pear drops for me?" So they're dead popular. I mean, what we try to do with that particular brand is just take the nation's favourite confectionery and take all the gelatin out, take all the sugar out, and take any animal products out, and basically just have a very clean deck of ingredients to allow everyone to enjoy it. And they do really well. They're in Sainsbury's, they're in Holland and Barrett. We're going to be expanding the brand further into other sectors next year. So it's exciting times ahead for that brand.
That's incredible. So you actually create it as well? You create the product?
Well, yeah, I mean, Carl and I, the business is split into two key areas. Some of the brands like Panda and Freedom and Vegan Bakery and CMP, we are a distributor from, and then the other brands that we own, so Peanut Hottie, Leaf Life, Free From Fellows, we create with laboratory teams based on a brief that Carl and I put together.
That's fantastic. And I've got to say, I do love Vegan Bakery. And I think I first saw them when I met you at that big event in London. And I took them home for my son. I think you kindly treated me, actually. And I had some lovely goodies for my son. And he couldn't believe it. He's never had, because my son's a lifelong vegan, you're giving just so much that we never would have been able to have, because these biscuits would have had milk in them.
Absolutely.
It's food I literally didn't have for 20 years. And I was really happy. I got to my independent health food store in Wickford, and there was your range. So I went and bought 5 packets of biscuits. But this is amazing. Tell us about this, Lisa. Have we lost Lisa?
Hello, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa is frozen in time. Just brush my hair.
So we were just enthusing about Lisa's ranges, but Lisa's also an athlete, a highly achieving athlete. And indeed, and I know that when we get Lisa back, which I'm sure will be any minute now, we'll get Lisa back. She'll tell us more about it. But I do know that literally as recently as a week or two ago, she went off to I think it was Spain, or was it even Madeira, or one of the Spanish islands, or off Portugal. Obviously Madeira is off Portugal, so I think it was one of these places that had an athletics championship going on, a running championship. And of course, these are very few and far between, as we know, and non-existent right now. Here's Lisa back. Lisa, we were just talking about your running achievements and about what you achieved actually literally, I think it was only a week or two ago before lockdown started.
It was. Yeah, sorry about that. My internet the beauties of technology, my internet connection just dropped out for a moment.
Oh,
happy days. Those pictures there that you see, they were taken by my sister over in Madeira. We went over there for the European Championships, the Masters European Championships, and that was a combination of road racing, road walking, cross country, a whole variety of things. So I actually did the 10K, which I did phenomenally well in. So I finished 8th in Europe on a total basis across all females, and first in my age group. So I was crowned the age group champion there, came home with the gold medal for GB. And then we also placed phenomenally as a team as well, myself and my team members, Claire and Leslie. We got silver in the actual team event, and then the next day we did the cross country, and we also got silver then as well. So we did phenomenally well as a team, and obviously it's one of the best things that I've ever done my athletic career. Anyone who follows me knows that I'm passionate about promoting vegan running and vegan fitness. I've ran for Vegan Runners for a number of years. During that time, I've got a county vest, a country vest. I've ran for England, and obviously I've ran for GB now as well. So I just like being able to promote the fact that, you know, veganism definitely doesn't hold you back, and if anything, it propels you forward, and you can achieve quite a lot from a health and fitness point of view.
That's fantastic, Lisa. And I've got to say, what an absolute outstanding photo. It just shows strength, it shows beauty, it shows coolness, it shows fitness. I mean, I love your bee in the background as well, but I just think that is such a powerful image.
Yeah.
Can we hear about the bee, actually? Because I'll be honest, we had a little bit of a dispute yesterday. I thought it was a monkey, and then my colleague pointed out it was actually a bee. And I looked at the top half, I was only looking at the top half. Who's right? That is definitely a bee.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a bee.
it is a bee.
What's the bee?
It's the mascot. It's the bee mascot for a business called the Running Bee Foundation. And they organise lots of races. It's quite funny because when I first put this picture up, one of my friends said, "Have you just trod on the bee's foot?" And
it's not a monkey, it's an angry bee, actually. That's had his foot trodden on. Right, now I get the bee bit. So, yeah, fair enough. So, but Lisa, it is. I mean, I see with the vegan runners there, and you know, promoting veganism. It's really been important over this last 2 decades, especially, to show the world that, you know, plant-based is not only not a detriment or a holdback to highly achieving on the athletics front, but it is, of course, indeed a benefit. So not only is it, of course, a benefit for animals and the environment, but when it comes to highly achieving on, you know, plant-based diets, it does seem actually runners especially seem to really do well on, you know, well, everyone does, but there seems to be quite a lot of high-profile runners. I think back to, you know, I remember when we first had Scott Jurek come over to London, so 7 years ago, I think he came over now, you know, Brendan Brazier. These people were doing this sort of, you know, 7, 8 years ago. They were highly achieving. There's a whole number of athletes since who've highly achieved. Fiona Oakes, of course, is a long-distance runner. We got a book at the end of the show. I think we're looking at a book. What do you find, especially the benefits of plant-based living to running? What would you say? Would it be in recovery or stamina, or?
Do you know, it's a collection of quite a few things for me. The first is that by eating a vegan diet, you're getting more phytonutrients into your actual daily diet, which is good because it's giving you more energy. You're getting a lot more vitamins. You're getting fibre and all of your essential vitamins like A, C, and E, etc. from having an increased vegetable and fruit content. So I think first of all, you get increased energy because you're not having to take in animal proteins and animal-based products that can actually make your digestive system very sluggish to respond. So high energy is definitely one of the benefits. The second part linked to that obviously is a better digestive system, because particularly with regards to overnight and the benefits that brings with regards to better sleep, because you're not asking your digestive system to break down really difficult animal-based proteins, so you're getting better sleep. So I think it's a combination of better sleep, more energy, and then obviously quicker recovery as well. Whilst there probably aren't a lot of reports out there on this area because it's quite niche, I definitely do believe that your recovery is a lot quicker on a plant-based diet. I mean, I definitely noticed the difference in between when I was a vegetarian with regards to recovery and then when I turned vegan. And I just think that it's almost like a Superman diet for me. It's like, you know, it literally is a diet that you take to make you fitter, faster, stronger, and generally all around more energetic. I mean, I've not had caffeine since 2007, and I've lost count of the amount of people that say to me, "God, you must be on caffeine all day long, and you must be on uppers and this, that, and the other." And I say, no, it's just literally the beans. It's just the vegan diet.
I love that. Lisa, I want to know, what is a typical day of food for you then? What do you have?
Yeah. So breakfast, I tend to do quite a low sugar but high fibre and high protein muesli. So I'll have in there things like barley, spelt, mixed nuts, blueberries, and I'll have that with almond milk. And I'll
do you make it yourself, can I ask you, or do you buy one?
Yeah, I get individual parts like barley flakes, spelt flakes, and then I'll add in all of my other powders. So I have like lucuma powder, flaxseed powder, and I just make it into like a super healthy bowl of low sugar cereal that I have in the morning. So I tend to have that first thing before work, and then mid-morning I'll have probably a couple of rice cakes with some peanut hossie on there. And then lunchtime I tend to have like a tofu salad with a bit of everything in there. I get a really nice marinated tofu actually from my Waitrose store, which is fantastic. It's probably one of the best on the market. I think it's the tofu brand. And then mid-afternoon I may have protein bar or a banana with some cashew nuts. And then evening meals tend to be something like vegan sausages with some broccoli and peas, or maybe some bean cassoulet with some vegetables, something like that. Basically, it's very similar to what you'd have. It's just substituting the meat for something like tofu or seitan or tempeh, all of which I take a lot of during the week. And then sort of mid-evening, I'll have like an Alpro high protein yogurt with some blueberries and maybe a couple of pieces of dark chocolate, something like that. So I tend to have 3 main meals during the day and 3 snacks.
That's quite a lot of food, Lisa.
It is.
Definitely a lot of food. Look, absolutely, that's great. So
I think a lot of people, that's the beauty about the vegan diet. You can actually eat a lot more because
you can. And some days I eat that sort of level of food too. Other days I barely eat anything. But on good days, yeah, I've chopped through a whole range of food. It's absolutely great. and you do. I mean, it is a fantastic plant-based diet. On that note, Lisa, we're going to wrap up because you know what? We've got several really interesting guests also waiting in the wings. You've been the most fantastic guest. And it always come on to breakfast. I know Karen's a big fan. You are very inspirational right now. Breath of fresh air for a lot of people. I know that on a number of levels, for business, for leadership, for highly achieving in the athletics field. There's lots of good news coming out of the Lisa Gawthorne Bravura joint camp. And well done. Thank you for that. And thank you for supporting the VegFest this weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
If you want to say thank you to Lisa, go and check out all those wonderful brands. Go and buy out their pear drops and their midget gems.
Oh, don't!
Not before I get there first, so just hold tight because I want to get in there first. But no, really, that's absolutely fantastic. Lisa Gawthorne, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Oh, she's fantastic, isn't she? A brilliant ambassador for veganism, a fantastic business that brings us some really lovely delights. And I think she's drop dead gorgeous, as well as being just such a lovely person. So, yeah, thank you for coming on board with us, Lisa.
We could have quite happily chatted for another half hour. There,
yeah, easily.
It's my job to have to sort of cut off our guests, and that's only out of courtesy to the fact that we have more guests literally waiting in the wings to come and join us. So Karen, we will be, we'll be having a quick look at what else is on this weekend.
Yeah.
For the VegFest thing. Just a reminder, if you're watching, you can go and find all of this out on the VegfestUK website. There's also the Facebook page, which is VegfestUK. There's also the event page, and you'll see a number of these things going on. So here we go. Here's some of the special offers we've got. And of course, the special offers is the big part of the VegfestUK online exhibitors weekend. You do have to make an effort, people. If you're listening, yes, you have to go and seek out these people. They're on the website. There's an exhibitors page. You see loads of posts on the Facebook page. Specifically, though, the special offers page, the November special offers page. And you'll see firms like Yayo, who have a 20% off across the board, running all weekend. You also get free gifts with the Yayo spend. So if you spend £10, you get a free lip balm. Spend another £10, so it's £20, you get a lip balm and and a moisturiser, and you spend another £10, you spend £30, you also get egg body butter in. So that's a fantastic deal all round. And it's one of the many that are on the website there. And you can go over to that spot there, VegfestUK, and have a look on the special offers page, and you see a load more there too, Kay.
You know what? There's always a good deal from Yayo, and I've got to say, especially this time of year, you could treat yourself and get a free product for a Christmas present for someone else.
That's what we're thinking, and that's exactly what. Talk about a Christmas present. Why? What about winning? Here's a good one. You can win your best friend a year's supply of deodorant. All yourself, indeed. There's some fantastic deodorants on the Funky Skincare website. So this is a really good all-round Christmas present or something to enter for this time of year. Natural deodorant. There's some wonderful ones. I've seen there's some sprays, and there's some roll-ons, and there's some creams and some cremes. You know, look at this one. Look, lemon ice natural deodorant creme.
I didn't know whether I wanted to eat it or put it under my armpit.
It looks fantastic. This is skincare, folks. This is one of our exhibitors at VegFest. One of the many competitions and special offers. Win a year's supply of natural deodorant. Head over to the VegfestUK Facebook page or the Instagram page. You might have to scroll down a bit. Look out there for that. Also coming up, and also running a competition too. This is why they are included it here. Is of course the Plant-Based Health Professionals UK. Now, this is a group of doctors, nutritionists, dietitians, GPs, practitioners, basically all with a science and evidence-based background, and very knowledgeable. These are people who, for research, means hundreds of hours. When we talk about research, hundreds of hours, not a few hours, and certainly not 1 hour watching a YouTube. This is proper research. So, how to eat for optimal health, plant-based health professionals, but you can also, Karen, if you have a look there down the bottom, you can win food bars, you can win hampers, the vegan kind. So go over to the Plant-Based Health Professionals page, where they're coming up at 3 o'clock today.
This is one that you can't miss. You know, we bring you at VegFest UK, we bring you the best of the best. Doctors, sports people. Don't miss that at 3 o'clock today. I'm going to be watching it. And look, I love these guys. And what I found when I checked them out earlier, they now have a tomato oil as well for your face. I so want to try that. They've got like a mini set where you can try all of their best products as well. So I really want to try these guys out. Met them at VegFest. Again, super people.
So this is Happy Carrot Skincare. You can get 20% off their entire range of skincare products. You can go to their website, happycarrotskincare.com. You can also see them on the exhibitors page along with the other special offers. So please, again, just do head over there. Do give them all a look, give them a shout, give them a visit, at least, you know, maybe sign up for their bulletins and sort of keep an eye on what's going on. But this is another of our independent vegan businesses that will really, absolutely welcome not only support, but also just the fact that they have some incredibly good products. You know, talking of which, you can get 20% off your first delivery of frozen One Planet pizzas. Now, One Planet Pizza consistently win our awards for best vegan takeaway or fast food or pre-packaged food or frozen food or delivery service, or, you know, a number of different categories, all of which coming up at 5 o'clock tonight. But for now, you can get yourself 20% off your first order of frozen pizzas delivered to your doorstep by visiting oneplanetpizza.co.uk or go to vegfest.co.uk exhibition page. Have you had these yet, Kate?
You know what? I have. I was one of the first to try them back in the day, but also these lovely guys have just sent to me, and I'm going to write about it for Veggie Vision, their Crustmas pizza. So it's got on it, you know, your vegan meats and stuff and some cranberry sauce, but it's got on there, guys, Brussels sprouts.
Oh, wicked.
It is.
That's fantastic.
It is
Brussels sprouts on pizza.
It's
My goodness.
fantastic. It is one of the best pizzas, honestly. I love the guys anyway, but it's one of the best pizzas. It's just got that different kind of taste. Yeah.
I'll jump to the floor. I cannot imagine a day I would hear a vegan pizza with Brussels sprouts.
Me neither.
I love it.
Come true.
I have them on a pizza. It's just like, my goodness, already my mind is just tumbling at the thought. So well done, the One Planet Pizza Boys. We've also got some fantastic guests to come and some more about some of the exhibitors. There's your special offers. We've got tomorrow a very interesting day, actually, because what happens with these VegFest online events are running every month pretty much now. And then on the Saturday, we have the kind of broader, wider, plant-based, vegan, different subjects, topics. Some of them quite light-hearted, some of them quite, quite informative. Some of them indeed quite controversial. But then the Sundays is going to be a focused summit, and it's going to take one aspect of the broader vegan, areas and examine in more detail and sort of focus. And the first summit we've got coming up, which is going to be tomorrow, is the hosted by Animal Aid and the Humane Wildlife Solutions. Is a wildlife summit tomorrow on Sunday at the VegFest.co.uk. And we have today the two people who'll be hosting this summit tomorrow. Please do warm welcome for Jade Emery from Animal Aid and Kevin Newell from the Humane Wildlife Solutions. Here we are. There they are. They're both here. Jade, hello.
Morning, guys.
Hey, how's it all going? You excited for the weekend?
Really excited. Yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow. We've got, some really great guests and really looking forward to getting all this information out there.
Yeah. Why do you think this area is important in particular?
I think because a lot of people that are kind of vegan go vegan because of animal rights, but not everyone kind of realizes how much that involves wildlife and wild animals and how kind of connected wildlife culling and mistreatment of wild animals is to the wider kind of animal rights movement. Things like the badger cull, a lot of people kind of don't realize how connected that is to the dairy industry. And some people, when they do, that's their kind of avenue into veganism.
Is that what you're finding a lot with your work at Animal Aid?
Yes, yeah, I think so, definitely.
Do you feel the same, Kevin, with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, animals play a huge part in veganism, whether it's us choosing not to eat animals, but then it extends much further than just our food. All vegans, it affects every aspect of our life. And I take it from a very unique approach by helping people overcome wildlife conflicts. So even as vegans, we do come into conflict with animals. And I'm the person who helped people, and even Animal Aid does with the amazing work they do, to find a vegan way to overcome wildlife problems.
So tell us a little bit about what's actually happening. Kevin, I know that your work involves, literally what you said, finding resolutions to sort of wildlife, conflicts. Is this sort of, especially in things like what is, I suppose, tend to be known as things like pest control and such like? Is this what, so I suppose if you were like, running a business and such like, and you wanted to make sure that you didn't have, whole colonies of wildlife in your snack bar storeroom or something. Is this sort of what your line of work is?
It is, yeah. So I go out to businesses all over Europe and I do consultations all over the world for vegan and non-vegan businesses where, you might do a new vegan restaurant startup and they need to look after their environmental health side of things. So they need a pest control plan in place. So I offer them that plan to make sure their business is safe, their stock is safe, their staff and the members of the public can use that business space with no worries or fear, that a little mouse or a rat might pop up from underneath a counter and run across their shop floor. So I do all that with all my vegan values. It was The business was founded with my vegan values. But, you know, I do more than that these days. It's not just about going out to people's homes. I have been lobbying governments to change wildlife laws. I just heard yesterday that one certain law regarding the culling of girls in Scotland, my proposal, it looks like it may well be accepted and actually may change the law in Scotland. So we do lots of things, from trying to help change the law to help people in their businesses, and education. So there's a whole broad spectrum of things we do these days. It's not just about helping people with their little furry mouses in their kitchens.
Wow.
I think part of what you got there is the key word there I'm looking at there really is the solutions. You know, I mean, it's one of these things you can talk all day about, but we really need to find solutions. I mean, the decline in wildlife in the UK is alarming. I think in my lifetime we've seen something like a 50% decline or something in the last 50 years or something ridiculous. Seems to be accelerating. Jay, tell us a bit more about what else. I know Kevin's going to be doing the first talk at 11 o'clock, which is more about what you've just been talking about finding solutions to these problems. What else have we got coming up? What else is on the? Oh, look, there you go.
Brilliant.
So you've got 11:30. We've got Animal Aid. Your talk, Jay. What's that going to be touching on?
So I'm just going to be kind of going over the work that Animal Aid do, focusing on our wildlife work. So helping people, as Kevin said, resolve conflicts with wild animals. Like if they have issues with kind of mice and rats, we have some information sheets. So I'll be talking about that and the development of those. Also our campaigns against any wildlife culling. So people get in touch with us if they know of like a business or, you know, any kind of local buildings that might be doing culling or kind of mistreating wildlife. We kind of get in touch with them and try and persuade them to use a more humane approach. And sometimes that work does involve Kevin, and we pass on his contact details if it's a particularly challenging situation. So I'll be talking a bit about that. Also our campaigning against things like game bird shooting, and I'll also be talking a bit about our reindeer campaign. So reaching out to events organizers when they have reindeer who have been like imported and they're kept in the UK, and then using them for Christmas events, which is of course highly stressful for those poor animals.
Okay, so that's basically the live streams. We've gone past the slide, but I know you've got an interview with Ian Green, who's the current CEO of Animal Aid. That'll be at, I think, 1:30. I should mention Kevin's on at 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. So if you're early risers, Kevin's on at 10, not 11. So excuse me if I got that one wrong. But of course, all the information up on the website, VegfestUK. Have a good look under the live streams. They're sort of scheduled to run all day tomorrow. You've also got Peter Egan in interview. We've got Natalia talking about squirrels, and then an animal rights perspective around about 5 o'clock from a number of sort of rights-based vegan activists. So that's all the live streams. There's also a number of presentations we've got, which are available all day. So you can see the presentations up on the website, and of course you can see all of this also afterwards. But Kevin, I think you did a little bit of an interview, I think, with a couple of really interesting people. One was Josie from the Hervet Monkey in South Africa, and another was the Hunt Sabs. I think you had an interview with the Hunt Sabs, couple of Hunt Sabs. Tell us briefly about that before we.
Okay. I'll talk about Josie really quickly, because I met Josie at a VegFest in Glasgow. I was there, and she had one as well. I actually met, I think it's one of her team and her there. So I've remained friends ever since, and I support the work they do, denoting for some of the work they carry out helping monkeys there. So Josie's talk is going to be fantastic. It's all about the work she does there and vegan volunteering. So don't miss it. I mean, you can catch it already on the VegFest page and on YouTube. Check it out. It's an incredible talk. And then you got the Hunt Sabs, two amazing women Hunt Sabs based in Scotland. I know them both very, very well. They're very dear friends of mine. And you can hear some of their stories. They're brave in the field, saving our wildlife.
Brilliant stuff, folks. Okay, well, look, we are going to move on. We're cracking on with this one. VegfestUK chat is a fairly bright and breezy show. So I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us, both of you, Jade from Animal Aid and Kevin from Humane Wildlife Solutions. And do come and check us tomorrow for the whole Wildlife Summit. We'll all be part of that, presenting and such like. Some really dynamic, interesting stuff.
Yeah, really excited.
And we'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. That sounds fantastic. It's a really lovely angle.
So you know, these people are representative of what this whole vegan movement runs on, which is such real enthusiasm and dedication, passion, just good energy basis, just wanting to put to rights whatever we can in our short lifetimes and with the limited resources we have. Okay, so I think we're going to go straight on, actually, Kay. We've been chatting a while because we always have really good guests. We've been on an hour already. We have 5 vegan cheeses to look at. 5 vegan. Christmas is just around the corner, the season of goodwill. So this is some goodwill, apart from anything else. and first of all, you know, basically, you know, there's a big transition for people making plant-based. Going plant-based, you know, the cheese aspect's always been a big deal. Now, this lot here, Butte Island, they've been going since 1988, so they pioneered the vegan cheese. And of course, it has developed at a rapid pace in line with the whole growth of the vegan lifestyle. And indeed, in the last 5 years, just mushroomed beyond belief. But Butte Island, up in Scotland, who've been part of the VegFest shows for, you know, a couple of decades now, but it's 1988. I remember in 88 getting a vegan cheese. I remember when they first came on the shelves in Bristol. I remember buying some and thinking, wow, I haven't had cheese for 8 years or something. And they've given rise to the, you know, the pioneers of the vegan cheese market, Butte Island, have now seen a whole growth encapsulated indeed by La Fromagerie, which is a whole plant-based cheese shop in South London. Have you been there yet, Kay? Or I think you can get it online.
I desperately want to go there. I mean, it just sounds like heaven. I can't even imagine. What would you do? You're going to look at all these vegan cheeses. How on earth can you pick what you want to try? But yeah, you know, big love to Shees. They're great friends of VegFest. Whenever they come to VegFest, you can't even get to their stall. And yeah, inspired so many other businesses. These guys, yeah, I cannot wait. I have tried their products. They did send me some last year and blew my mind. Absolutely. Like these guys probably got the best name, haven't they? I am not okay. I love it. The ones that stood out for me here, lemon and thyme vegan ricotta. Oh, and they do a truffle and mushroom pate as well. And yeah, very high end. This would be gorgeous for Christmas or a lovely weekend treat or something. That's what I'm thinking. But have you tried these guys yet, Tim?
Do you know what? I've had a few nibbles around of the vegan cheese. The trouble at the events when they're live, I tend not to eat because high energy. It's a very intense sort of job actually managing a big event, and I don't get to eat generally speaking. But I have seen these people. They are in Harrods. They finished very high in the awards last year. Yeah. They're very highly rated by a number of people, and like all these, you know, businesses, I would definitely appreciate support. So I am not okay. There's a good shout going out for I am not okay. Good luck with the business. We hope it thrives and grows and continues to prosper, and overcomes any of the challenges that are faced that a lot of businesses have. These guys are huge, of course. Follow Your Heart. Now they've been you know, big part of the VegFest shows actually for the last few years. Follow Your Heart. They have a number of really good kind of cutting edge products, including veganazes, but I think it's the cheeses that they're most known for. A really nice firm, really nice people, and you could get all their stuff off their website. They're on our exhibitors page. If you go to vegfest.co.uk, and I guess you would have tried these at VegFest, Karen.
Well, if you can get a look in at the stall, because obviously there's so many people. And I met the owner of Follow Your Heart, really super passionate guy, has been running for years in America, and outstanding products. I treated myself to their garlic mayonnaise just last weekend, and it's just gorgeous. As are these guys, VegfestUK. I mean, they came over to the UK, and I actually did all their publicity for them when they first launched in the UK. And I now know that they've got a new lease of life. New people have brought them back to the UK. Do you remember these guys at VegFest? I mean, you could not get to their stall.
VegfestUK kind of broke the mold, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and they had this really strong, I can't remember what it's called now, piquant. The piquant, it's like a chili foam, and it's a nut base too, which was quite rare in those days. So it's going back 6-7 years ago. VegfestUK, Swiss firm originally, and it's a really good team brought it over and worked with.
Yeah.
I know it disappeared a couple of years ago. It seemed to disappear with regulars at VegFest, and then suddenly we see. So we had to share this amazing good news that VegfestUK are back, and I think you can go to Green Bay Supermarket and
yes, yeah.
So there's a little look at some of the vegan cheeses. Obviously, VegFest packed full of chat shows and guests and panels, and we talked about the Wildlife Summit. We talked about the Plant-Based Health Professionals UK. We've also got David Pannell from Vegan Business Tribe coming up at 1 o'clock today. He's doing a talk on different aspects of running a business, surviving with a vegan business during the pandemic. So that's going to be really interesting. We mentioned the awards at 5 o'clock, Karen. You're going to be helping me introduce 200 nominees, right? Yeah, a proper labour of love. I mean, it was a labour, but I love doing it. I've got to say, I've done it on my own this year because we are bereft of certain members of team members. Now that we're without events, we are slightly sort of trimmed down to the point where we have to do the work, I have to do it all myself. Do my best anyway. No, I do get some great help. It's not quite like that. But the awards has been a really, testing, to be honest. And I'm very happy to have been able to get that one ready and in shape to start voting, because it's very important to be positive and uplifting. Talking of positive and uplifting, we have the most positive and uplifting and fairly, on the large sort of scale of positive and uplifting, but also on the scale of pretty big in the size. And that's our guest waiting in the wings. So I believe it's with us there, Karen. Hench Herbivore.
How are you doing?
Hey, how are you? Great to see you, Paul.
Very good to see you both. Really, really good.
Nice to see you, Hench. Looking very green.
You're looking so well, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit sketchy, I must admit, this fine morning, but yes, definitely green. You've got a green vest.
Very green, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't really think about that, did I?
That's not a t-shirt. What's the logo? What have we got there?
Oh, this is my own design. It's
wicked.
I fell over. No one looked. I couldn't remember.
Army. Yes. Yeah. Yes. For we are many. Good to see you. It's good to see you looking really fit, healthy, and radiant. I see quite a lot on social media. You're quite a social media star and such like. Now we're going to be coming to a few stories about you a little bit. We've got a few slides coming up in a minute, but before that, I've got to ask you, because you do have a reputation for taking on all sorts of people in the vegan thing and making some quite interesting videos. I seem to remember the guy who was waggling pigs' heads around our festival a couple of years ago. Yeah, you've had a few pops at him, but there's a few what you might call ex-vegans who have come under your steely gaze and subjected to your, I would say, pre sort of nightclub bouncer style stern attention. Tell us about all of that.
I mean, I'm less hands-on nowadays. It's just words. And to be honest, I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to. I've done all that aggression. I've done all that negativity. But I feel if someone doesn't stand up, you know, and put people straight, particularly when they throw veganism under the bus, you know, and we need to debunk the nonsense that they're coming out with, you know, we need to speak up. We do need to speak up, you know, sadly.
You definitely speak up for the animals, Paul, but you've also got a really good nutritional base. And this is what I've noticed, is that you are very well versed in your facts and you are evidence-based. And I think what I notice is that a lot of the people that you touch on that word debunked, and it's people who are basically going to throw animals under the bus for no good reason. If there is a good reason, that's to be debated, but it's this casual kind of, oh, you know, like what was the last one we heard? Something about, oh, you know, my brain fats. It's like, yeah, look, take EPA, DHA algae. You know, it's not that hard. You don't have to. There's science behind this. There's research. You know, you can get tested. You know, somebody whose name we won't mention, who I think it was something to do with gut health a couple of years ago, wasn't absorbing nutrients, pushing themselves to extreme. Didn't understand the science of gut health. But you've got all this, haven't you? Is that nutritional background?
Yeah, I mean, the science is all on our side. Yeah, I've done my nutritionist diploma. And but to be honest, anyone can teach themselves. You just need to go to nutritionfacts.org. They look at every English language nutrition paper that comes out to see who funded it. So what was it biased? You know, was it a well-designed study, or was it set up to find a false positive for the industry that probably funded it? And the truth's all there for everyone to see. And time again, whole plant foods prevent, treat, and even reverse chronic disease. And animal products and processed junk, you know, plant foods cause disease. And you know, the choice is ours. And you touched on the gut microbiome. We want a Prevotella enterotype, so we want to foster these Prevotella strains of bacteria that cause good health. They're whole foods vegans. They eat soluble fiber, resistant starch, and polyphenols. So they're whole foods vegans. The bad guys, Bacteroides, that cause disease and death. They eat animal products, you know, they eat refined sugar, you know, all the junk. So what does that tell you? Like the key is the gut. If the gut is healthy, then our whole system has the potential to be healthy. That's the key, you know, that's the cornerstone.
I love this, Paul. You're so passionate about it, and I've said it before. And we even got to hang out on your Instagram the other week, didn't we?
That was brilliant.
We talk about, you know, we non-stop chatted about old school and all stuff. But what I really love about you, and especially when we go to VegFest, is standing room only. Everybody likes you, they trust you, they know you know your stuff. And as Tim said, you really do stand up in a way that I think a lot of vegans wouldn't feel comfortable in doing. You do answer these people that are putting really a lot of anti-vegan and load of nonsense in most cases. You know, you put them straight. I think we've got some slides coming up. Paul, tell us about this. Is that really
I think
good?
I was probably just 18 there, probably just got my black belt in karate.
Oh, that is so sweet. I love it.
So this was my room, and I'd done it out like a dojo. You know, I trained every day, so I did my black belt in 3 years instead of the usual 4 because I was so keen. I loved it. I was a proper wimp up until finding martial arts. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I had no stamina. You know, I would come last. I'd be picked last for any sports thing at school. You know, I would be picked last, and just. You know,
I can't believe that. I just honestly, how is that the truth? That is crazy.
Yeah, well, basically, I got a little tiny taste of being bullied. Nothing like most kids probably have it, but a little taste, and I didn't like it. And that just set me on my path of martial arts and later on bodybuilding and stuff. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you just fell in love with martial arts. What did something trigger you to fall in love with martial arts?
I just saw, to be honest, the first time I went with a girl from school, and it killed me. I was sore the whole week. It was press ups, sit ups, these bunny hops that have been since outlawed, where you're on your haunches, kind of bouncing around the dojo.
Yeah.
Buddy, they're agony. I was sore for the whole week. I was not going to go back, but she was, and being a guy and having a typical guy's ego, I had to go back. But within a short time, I saw, wow, I can do more press-ups, I could do more sit-ups, and the more effort I put in, the more I get from it, and that was it. Yeah, that was the catalyst.
Do you think that's something that a lot of youngsters may benefit from taking up, or even at different ages?
Hugely. Just in the discipline and just learning like work ethic, it made me. I wouldn't be the person I am today was it not for my sensei Ken Bailey. I owe him my happiness in life.
That's amazing.
Ever have to do when I did martial arts? Like we had this instructor who made us do press ups on our thumbs.
On your thumb, just your thumb.
It's like, yeah, it's like that. You'd start off like that.
Yeah.
And then you go down 1, 4 finger, then it would be 3, then 2. He's like 18 stone. He's doing press ups on his thumbs.
Wow, I've never quite seen that before. That's crazy.
This is Gemma, isn't it? Is it Gemma?
So this is when I became a doorman, and I met Gemma whilst working the door, and you know that became quite a dark path because you know I was scared of conflict from being bullied, but then I learned to stand up for myself, and then it was almost like a adrenaline sport. Like I hate to say it, I enjoyed fighting. You know, I say I wasn't a bully. I only, you know, it was dealing with trouble. I was waiting for any troublemaker to cause trouble so I could show them how tough I was now. And looking back, you know, that's not really, you know, that's fear, that's insecurity. You know, it wasn't that I was tough, it's that I was scared.
When was this? What years was this? What years are we talking about?
I'm rubbish at years, but I can tell you I was 26 when I started and I'm 46 now. So, 2000. That was easy, isn't it?
Clubs, is it Essex Clubs 20 years ago on the door?
Norwich
Clubs on the door. So it's a tough old job. That's a big job there. You get
it's a nasty, thankless, dangerous job. And what stopped me doing it? I've been doing it 12 years, and I had this dream, and it was so real because a doorman. Along the street where I worked, Prince of Wales Road, at doorman, this guy came at him 3 times and the guy shoved him back 3 times. Sadly, the 3rd time the guy fell and cracked his head and died, sadly. And the doorman was up for manslaughter. And I had this dream that I was standing on the nightclub door and the police came up to me, stuck the cuffs on me and said, Paul, that guy you hit last week, he's just died in hospital, you're coming with us. And I woke up with the adrenaline had gone mad and I thought it was real still. I thought it was, and I just thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't want to spend years in prison. So that was it. I checked in.
That's really scary. Obviously, such a big change, and big love to Gemma, who we just saw, because she's such a fantastic lady. Big fan of Gemma as well.
She was such a huge influence because when I looked at Gemma, I saw that she was so kind to everyone, and I thought, I want to be like that. Like that's beautiful, and that's what I got from her.
Amazing. Where are you here then with your lovely little friend?
Yeah, like you say,
Little Peach. This is Hillside Animal Sanctuary. And Little Peach, she would have been made into bacon, but somehow she got rescued from that. And so this is where I've now got my job as a social media influencer. And instead of acting out of fear, I act out of love, and I get to do these lovely things like meet Little Peach. She was such a little cutie, eh?
Well, I've got to be honest, Paul. I'll be straight up. I like the way, because, you know, I've been doing this a long time, 35, 40 years now, I've been vegan. I've been through a few challenging circles where I suppose this kind of macho male thing, you know, I mean, we all go through it. And, you know, at some point you've got to stand up, fight for yourself for a lot of the time. And it's quite often in the, you know, darkest corners. And I do love the way you have retained, because I know you're a genuine hard man, and there's not many on the vegan because in fact I don't think there's any that I can remember, genuine hard man. And you know, you turn that into, you're still like that, you still got that, you haven't lost your macho or your, you know, this whole thing, your persona, but you turn it whole round, and you're such a really good example of how alpha males can become the most compassionate, caring people without losing any. What you lose is the toxic masculinity that you gain, this caring, sharing masculinity which actually is what we all need, and this is what we need to see.
And anyone can go along with the crowd, can't they?
Masculinity, really, it's feminine traits that we see, and here you are, proving the point. You wouldn't have a quick, you want a sign in a pub fight. I've got to be honest.
So this is me as a vegan of several years. And what I will say, I don't know if you might have noticed in that Dorman photo, I had a bit of a double chin. And I was always ruled by ego. I was in a rush to get big and strong, so I would get fat. And then someone would say, would make a comment about that. So then I'd be in a rush to get as lean as possible and get abs, and I'd drop all my muscle. And it was ego, insecurity. Now, because I'm advocating and trying to be the best example for the animals, I stick to the game plan, and now I look like this. So veganism has given me so much more than I could ever imagine. It's just win across the board for everyone, isn't it? Veganism, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's right.
We're live. Oh, you look great here. Was this for any competition or anything, or was this for a photo shoot and you wanted to show how fantastic veganism is?
Exactly that, Karen. Just a bit of marketing. I've never really wanted to step on stage. I never have stepped on stage as a bodybuilder. I might do. I'm 46 now. I'm considering making my debut at age 50 as a new bodybuilder, on stage as a bodybuilder and as a vegan. And just see what happens. I'm not lazy, but you have to spend so much time learning posing, and that's something I've not done. So that'd be a lot of extra work. And kind of my love now is in content creation and the social media stuff. So I've got a feeling it probably won't happen if I'm really honest with myself.
That's fantastic. Well, you're great at what you do, so we want to see more of that. Obviously, more of the videos and more of the expert health, and you've got your book as well. But I'm just wondering, I'm not sure what the next screen is. Oh, I want to talk about your book, but let's hear about this first of all.
Okay, so this is the next step in the evolution. So this is me at Greenwich Park just before the lockdown, overlooking the city of London. And me and Jem have been given this amazing opportunity to go into business with this other lovely couple, and they're just very forwards thinking and want to make a change in the world, and they've got loads of financial backing. And I had to decide a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't say too much, but it's really multifaceted, this business. It's gonna bring veganism up to the next level. It's going to leverage technology and celebrity, and it's going to be able to meet people where they are, potential vegans, meet them where they are, and just to help them more easily, make the switch over. So I'm just super excited. I can't wait for it to all start.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And is this why you went to Greenwich?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a meeting, and also we would probably look to move to Greenwich perhaps. So we was having a little look around there, so quick commute into the city centre. Have you been to Greenwich? Such a lovely place.
I haven't been. I really want to go. It's been years, actually.
Right there, I'm right near the is it called the datum line? Because Greenwich Mean Time. The line in the floor is actually there, and yes, beer and foxes in that park, and you can get really close. And parakeets. There's parakeets. It's beautiful. Yeah, lovely place. Very green, which is why it's called Greenwich, I guess. It'll suit me down to the ground.
It's interesting, actually, too, that more and more people are able to literally make a living out helping people go vegan or get into plant-based diets. I mean, that's just really exciting, because we do need to see a speed up in the transition. I think one of the things that's come with the lockdown and the whole COVID thing is it has pushed a lot of us back into a corner. And although perhaps on personal levels that can sometimes bring the best out of people, overall there's a lot of really good initiatives and projects that have been really pushed back and knocked for flat. And of course, people's health been knocked for flat. People with long COVID really struggle to get their really good things carrying on and doing. and people, grieving. So, it has. And of course, financially, it's hit huge amounts. People are really up against it. But I think it's something that we still have to really focus on, and especially we've got Veganuary coming up. There's a really big opportunity now to really push to help people. I see, Viva really pushing ahead with the big billboard campaign, I think announced yesterday. And it's very important, I think, all of us that are in a position to get inspirational, active, and we do our very best to try and do that. And hence you've done a lot of that, so well done. I can't remember. We've got the awards coming up. I'm not sure if you're in them or not. I can't remember. If you're not, you have to forgive me. You should be.
What?
But we've got. if you are, you certainly deserve it. But we have got some sort of category for sort of inspirational people. But I just can't remember who's in there and who isn't. But you're definitely an inspirational person, that's for sure. And I'd like to thank you for all the content you make and all the really good sound advice you make and the good example you set for people. And long may that continue. So good luck with your new projects.
Lovely. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks for coming on. Good luck with everything. Yeah, no,
you're an absolute inspiration. We get to hang out. We do work together from time to time. And you're a pleasure. You are just such one of the nicest, coolest guys. And thank you for everything you do for veganism, because, it's... you're coming at it a different angle, really. And it's, the guys love you, the girls love you, and we both love you and Gemma.
Thank you so much.
Power vegan couple.
Thank you. And Tim and Karen, thank you for all you do for the people, the planet, and the animals as well. You two are an inspiration also.
Love you, Gemma.
Lovely.
That was a nice treat.
Well, guys, see you later. Nice
to enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, wasn't that lovely, Gemma popping in at the end? She is.
Karen thing, isn't it, Karen? That's one of the beauty of the whole VegFest thing, is that we are lucky to be, in the middle with so many amazing people, and we have grown up, a lot of us together, and shared a lot of stuff. You've got, your kids are grown up in it and stuff. So, it's just a lovely feeling that we can still kind of keep doing this. These guys here at Butte Island, they've been so supportive for the VegFest. So many people who have just grown up with this the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Even going right back, I found out there's people alive now who went vegan in the 1940s. And the Vegan Society was founded, who's still alive, So, amazing. All right, look, we're going to wrap up soonish, but I think we're going to come into, we've got some books, and we've got some outdoor wear to look at. Now, the outdoor wear is topical because it's pretty wet and miserable out there. And particularly this month, we're going to say congratulations to Robin Webb and his team. 30 years this month of vegetarian shoes. I've got 3 or 4 pairs of vegetarian shoes, the hemp vegetarian shoes. They're the only shoes I wear these days. I buy them every 3 years. They last me that long. They're that good. Karen, you've known Robin a long time. You must be a big fan.
I have. I mean, I still remember his racing cars with vegetarian shoes all over them, being a racing driver as well. 30 years, very exciting when I've gone to Brighton and popped into the shops. I've got to say, I haven't actually got the shoes, but I've bought belts and other things from vegetarian shoes. And it's inspirational that the business has lasted for 30 years. Is ahead of its time and, still with us now, which is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's a very tough market. I know. I mean, vegetarian shoes, even vegetarian shoes market leaders, since the big growth, of course, in the supermarkets and the multiples and the national of vegan ranges, it has been tough competition. And again, it's just an emphasis on the importance of shopping where we can with the vegan brands, supporting vegan brands where we can, especially with things like perhaps outdoor wear, which you might only buy, a good bit of outdoor wear should wear you a long time. As indeed these two guys do. Ethics.
Yay!
Our show. They do sweats, they do hoodies, they do t-shirts. They're uber cool. We love Ethics. You can go to their website. They're not actually exhibiting with us on this show, but you can still go to their website. Neither are Vegetarian Shoes, as it happens, but that doesn't matter. You can go to ethics.com, and they are, it's really good people. And a favourite of mine is the hemp shop. The hemp shop have been going since 1995 now, which is a phenomenal run of 25 years, obviously, celebrating. And the hemp shop do mail order, so you can go on there, hempshop.co.uk. Somebody spelt OG wrong. I don't know what the home OG hemp probably should be of. I think that was me. Should have spelled shop to just point that one out. I think we just the hemp shop, a wonderful Karen. You can go on there. The last thing I got off there was a vegan guitar strap.
No.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hemp vegan. Yeah.
Their range is incredible. It's very impressive. And I'm trying to think, when we did the hemp panel years ago, were they part of that?
They weren't actually, but we did refer to Bobby as the founder of the hemp store. It's the hemp shop. You go online, and they do a lot of outdoor wear too. Some really good hemp, jackets, boots. And talking of outdoor wear, Workers' Playtime is another collection of. You can tell there, pretty sturdy looking. What's called the core boot. This is all vegan, so it's 100% vegan. There's some other shoes there, and the outdoor I like the particularly look, as you can see. Actually, I've still got my Chippy shirt from 30 years ago, which is a sort of thick outdoor shirt. I like the look of their shirts, actually, Karen. They look pretty tidy.
They do, and I'm just sort of going back, because that type of boot is what I would have loved to have worn when I had my purple hair and my punky look going on with a very short miniskirt. But I'm more of a bit of a glittery girl now, I've got to say. But they look really good, sturdy. It's an investment. They're products that will last and last, and of course, all vegan. So
yeah. And they're online. You can get them online. You can shop online for Workers' Playtime. There's the website. It's actually there is more to life than .work. So there's more to life than .work is where you can find the Workers' Playtime range. And a real favourite of ours, talk about being old school vegan. I mean, Karen, you and I have been vegan a number of years, but not as long as the founder of Alternative Stores, who's been celebrating over 50 years now, have been vegan. Dan, founder of Alternative Stores, old school originals from the Newcastle area with a strong and robust selection, including these really steel toe cap, vegan steel toe cap boots, which of course from a health and safety perspective is an absolute must for a number of trades, including the exhibition trade. So you can now get your vegan steelies, and you can get them from Alternative Stores. How cool is that?
They're great, guys. And I've got to say, I always mention, obviously, the VegFest, when we've had it at Olympia, and hopefully it's going to come back. I always went shopping with these guys. There was always something new, something I could stuff in my suitcase and bring home for treats for later. But absolute pioneers, 50 years or more being vegan. It's really inspirational.
So here we have those people not at the show today. So we've got, you can remind you can go to VegfestUK website. It's on all weekend. There's some fantastic special offers going on. It is VegfestUK online, November 14th, 15th, all weekend. Do go visit our exhibitors. Do see the panels. And just to round up the show, we're going to have a very quick look at a few books coming out now. Ethical Vegan by Julie Kazamachana is out on December the 3rd. And guess what, Karen? We are handling the launch for that. So you can tune in live around about 2 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I think, time TBC. Ethical Vegan. And of course, we've got a lot to thank Julie for. He fought the case. And who's won the case to have veganism recognised by law. New book's out on the 3rd of December, and this is going to be a groundbreaker. I know it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, fantastic. And I've got to say, you know, huge love and luck to him, and also to Danielle, who I'm a firm fan of. She's been on my radio show a few times. She's at VegFest. Wow, I mean, what she makes will blow your mind. Takes vegan desserts to the next level. She absolutely knows her stuff. And what about this for a title of a book? Vegans deserve better than fruit salad. That is the truth.
Don't we know? How many times have, you know, we've been palmed off with the fruit salad? Not that I'm complaining. I mean, I love fruit salad, but I really salad. I want to have it for breakfast at the beginning of the day, not, you know. But I mean, to be honest, if you got served up something like what's this at the, my goodness, I mean, the photography is pretty good too. But I mean, Danielle is a really pastry chef, trained pastry chef, and has created from there the really intricate, superb quality. So there you go, Danielle Maupertuis. The book's out shortly. We'll be also featuring her in the December show for some live cookery demos, we hope. And Karen, Fiona wrote, of course, you've known Fiona for a long time. Now, Running for Good was a documentary released earlier. It's now out as a book. I think it's coming out now. Fiona's a long-term friend of yours, been a regular guest on VegFest events over the last 2 decades.
I mean, she blows everybody's mind. She's the most unassuming lady you can ever wish to meet. I've probably known her not far short of 20 years. And I remember just hanging out at the animal sanctuary, sitting on the floor, and she told me she doesn't even like running. I mean, she's just, you know, she's been on the stage so many times with me, been on my radio show, love her to pieces, just go and support her. I mean, she smashes world records. She extreme marathon running on the North Pole, you know, in the Sahara Desert. She's just mind-blowing. She does it all for veganism and for animals. So much love to you, Fiona. You're an inspiration to so many people. And go and get the book. What a great Christmas present.
Great present. All of these books here, inspirational vegans. It's fascinating to see so many out at once. And we couldn't not give a nod to Dale Vince. With John Robb too. John Robb's co-writer, I think. John Robb's authored this, so helped Dale put this together. It's basically Dale's story from being a traveller to founding Ecotricity, to becoming the chairman of Forest Green Rovers, creating the first vegan football club, doing all sorts of really interesting stuff, including making diamonds out of air, which is not an April Fool. It was only talked about in November, so it's an outrageous concept. But Dale Vince really interesting, and of course John Robb too. So there's a book out, Manifesto. Good luck to both of them. That'd be my pick, I must admit, for a Christmas read. I have to say that'd be very.
Are you hinting there? You're hinting for your Christmas present.
Oh well, you know, for that matter. Talking of inspirational people, Karen, this is a new podcast actually. This is Savannah Lynch here, who was you know, in a film a few years ago. I can't remember. What was it? Harry Potter, something like that. Yeah, that's the one, Harry Potter. So Savannah Lynch was a very well-known, famous actress, very inspirational. Now doing the Chick Peeps podcast.
Yeah, you know, she's a lovely lady. And I've got to say, when I invited her to come to VegFest, and she came along and she came on stage, she was absolutely lovely. But she did actually say, I go to VegFest anyway. So she just walks around and mingles and just has a lovely time. But again, her podcast, really well put together, interesting information. She's obviously huge on social, I think 3 million fans on Instagram. And she tells them all about being vegan. So wonderful, wonderful, inspirational lady.
Right, okay, that's it. That's our roundup of news, that's a roundup of products, that's a roundup of some of the new vegan initiatives. That's the introduction to the VegfestUK online, November 14th, 15th, 2020. You can find it hosted on the VegFest.co.uk website, also on our Facebook pages. Just ask you once again, give us a share, that'd be great. Do have a visit to our exhibitors. That'd be fantastic. Do go and have a look at the presentations. They're all on the website. Take advantage of the special offers. They're running all weekend. And do tune into more live streams. You'll find all of this and more up on our website. I've got a feeling that's about it for us now. I don't know if there's anything else in the pipeline, but I think, Karen, we have come to the end and we are going to go and say goodbye. We're back for David Pannell and his business talk, 3 o'clock plant-based health professionals. We will see you again, Karen and I, at 5 p.m. to unveil the awards. And then at 7 o'clock, I'll be wrapping up the day where I'm joined by a very special guest, Dr. Tushar Mehta, who is a practicing GP and consultant and researcher based in Ontario, Canada. And he'll be joining us for a very interesting chat. We're going to be looking at the pandemic. We're going to be looking at the health, the immune system, a little bit of a touch on vaccines, and also a little chat about regenerative farming and the myth of this. So Dr. Tushar, very interesting. Do tune in for that. Karen, thank you ever so much for joining me. It's wonderful to see you again. And, you know, I know that you're, the reason that people watch your show far more than I am. So I'm really grateful for that. You make us immensely watchable and listenable. And I think, you know, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Everyone loves an Essex accent. That's all it is. Thank you, Tim. Thank you to all of the guests. Thank you to you for watching, whether you tuned in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you stuck with us for an hour and a half. All we ask now is please do help share VegfestUK, because we are passionate about spreading a positive vegan message, and we really can do it with your help. So thank you. Enjoy the VegFest weekend.
Lovely.
Thanks,
Cheers, folks. Cheers, Kate.